I arrived at my son's city without warning him. A mother doesn't always need a reason sometimes. The chest tightens for no logical cause. And you just know something is wrong. I told myself I was being dramatic, that I missed him, that I wanted to see how married life suited him. Still, my hands shook as I held my bag. I went straight to the apartment I had bought for them. The building stood tall and respectable, the kind that looks safe from the outside. Inside, the door wasn't fully closed, just slightly open, like someone had rushed out and forgotten to finish the motion. The smell hit me first. Old smoke, sour alcohol, neglect. Shoes were scattered across the floor. The kitchen was a mess, dirty dishes, unopened mail, empty bottles. On the counter sat a box of medication with my daughter-in-law's name on it, unused, dusty. I called her name. Nanso. A neighbor appeared, drawn by the sound of my voice. She looked at me with pity before I even asked. That's how I knew the truth was going to hurt. She was taken to the hospital, the woman said softly. She collapsed. No one was here with her. The world narrowed to a single point. I left without remembering how my feet moved. At the hospital. I pushed past desks and questions until someone finally told me where she was. Intensive care, tubes, machines. Body that looked too small for the bed it lay on. The doctor spoke gently but directly. Severe illness, dehydration, exhaustion, neglect. Neglect. I stood there listening while something inside me went completely quiet. I held her hand. It was cold. I told her she wasn't alone anymore. I promised her that I would not let her be alone again. When I stepped outside for air, I saw the car. The car I had bought for my son. It rolled past the hospital entrance, music loud, windows down. My son was driving, laughing, to women in the passenger seats. Carefree, loud, alive. He didn't look toward the hospital. He didn't know I was standing there. I didn't wave. I didn't chase. I didn't scream his name. I simply took out my phone and reported the car stolen. Then I called my lawyer. I sat back down inside the hospital and waited. My phone buzzed with messages from my son-in-law about being at the hospital, about supporting his wife, about praying. I didn't respond. Paperwork moved quietly. Ownership transferred. Accounts locked. Authority shifted. Everything I had once given out of love, I reclaimed out of responsibility. When my son finally came looking for me, his anger arrived before his fear. He shouted, accused, demanded. I told him the truth calmly. The car was gone. The apartment was no longer his. Everything was in his wife's name. His voice cracked then. For her. For himself. He tried to enter her room. Security stopped him. She stirred at the sound of his voice, fear spiking through her fragile body. I told them to remove him. Later, he begged. On his knees. Promises spilling from his mouth like coins from a torn pocket. Work. Change. Love. Alisand. Then I stood. I already chose. I said, I chose the person you abandoned. He left with bags of clothes. Nothing naughty. The apartment changed after that. Fresh air. New locks. Quiet. Healing. She recovered slowly. Strength returned to her eyes before it returned to her body. She learned to breathe without fear. To sleep without waiting for a door to slam. She called me Mom one morning without realizing it. I stayed close, but never controlled. I helped, but never hovered. Support is not possession. My son tried to reach me again. Messages, numbers I didn't recognize. Pleas for small things. Food, money, another chance. I didn't reply. One afternoon, I saw him by chance, working, scrubbing someone else's luxury car. Smaller than I remembered, tired. He looked at me. Hope flickered. I walked past. Not out of cruelty, out of clarity. Love had already done its work. I went home to the woman who survived. To warmth, to peace, to a life rebuilt not on blood, but on truth. Some bonds are broken by betrayal. Others are forged by standing up when it matters most. And sometimes, being a mother means letting go so that someone else can live.